Funding for Greater Chattanooga is provided by EPB Fiber Optics.
I'm only up here to clear my mind.
With Rick, what I really enjoy playing with him is kind of getting back to the roots of how I learned to appreciate music, like with classic rock, with blues, Eric Clapton, Jimi Hendrix, Led Zeppelin. We play all that stuff, and it just really kind of makes me feel like a kid again.
It's kind of one of those nice balances that Rick has. All his music, you can hear that it's him. You can hear where he's doing his own thing. You can definitely hear some very modern touches in places, but there's not a single tune of his where you can't also hear the roots of the blues.
Growing up was interesting. I grew up in Cincinnati, so pretty much we were the only African-American family in a white neighborhood. We always had a house full of soul and good music. Rushing is my last name. Jimmy Rushing is a great uncle of mine who sang with Count Basie and Fat Jelly Roll Morton and Dave Brubeck. The schools I went to always were heavily arts driven. So I got exposure to the arts at a very early age. And I played basketball, so I was able to travel. Figured I had an advantage being taller. Ended up moving to California, Los Angeles. White Men Can't Jump was one of the movies I saw when I was a kid. That imagery always just stuck with me. And so I said I had to just go out there and try to recreate that. I was in Los Angeles on Venice Beach. We just got done playing 5-on-5 full court. And there's this acoustic guitar, just no one around it on the bleachers. You know, it just had this glow to it. So I picked it up and I janked some chords and everyone laughed at me. Thankfully, that guitar left a lasting impression on me. And when I moved to Tennessee again, I developed that with my teachers. You know, the first thing I learned was 1-4-5 blues. And then if you could play that in G, you can play it in F sharp, you can play it everywhere. But then it did also have the feeling of it, you know, the basketball blues, the California blues, the Cincinnati blues, the Missouri blues, where you just, I guess, got lost in it in a good creative way where we would just keep jamming, we would just keep playing and get it out.
Pack my dreams and headed west, finally made it.
Rick Rushing and the Blue Strangers started probably around 2008 over at the Mud Pie in North Chattanooga. It was just a 3-piece. Thankfully, I've got a keyboard player now who's phenomenal, Jake Evett, and got a phenomenal bass player, Alex Harper, and a phenomenal drummer, Josh Carlisle.
Rick was one of the first ones to give me that encouragement that I needed to think in my own mind that maybe this is something I can actually do, that I am decent at, and he sees that potential in people.
Rick's a very strong band leader. I think he's really underrated in that respect. And also a really good stagecraft. He's very good about connecting with an audience.
One thing I'll say about Rick, one of the coolest things about him, he's full of surprises. Like, he could walk into a restaurant and there's a little dog, and he says hello to the dog, and he pulls a treat out of his backpack. He's got dog treats on him all the time. It's crazy. He's kind of always got something up his sleeve. And that's what you want in a band leader. That's what you want in a person, to just be prepared and have something for you when you're least expecting it.
Embracing your heritage means using what your ancestors left you to make your life better. And so that inheritance, to me, was the blues, my voice, the guitar. overall, the blues is, the base of Western culture and music. Everything musically really comes from the blues. Any song you're hearing will more than likely have a 1, 4, and a 5 in it. And that's the blues.
It's just universal. It's a base that you can lay any emotion, any expression, and any inspiration on top of.
It's a very unpretentious form. There's standards, but you can play with it and do your own thing. And honestly, that Rick's music is blues-based. It's one of the things that's always made playing with him just fun and easy. Picking up the songs, they always have, one foot in the past, but he's doing his own thing with them. You can't really separate it from the past. You kind of always have to have one foot in the roots of that music.
Of every song, basically. Every blues song has essentially the exact same structure. They all have so much difference and so much feeling that you can pour into it. And it's because of how it came up, like real oppression and real emotion, where that music means something.
It's African American, It's African American heritage, and I feel like it's an honor to know how to play that style of music and embrace my inheritance. The best thing about the blues is that it's foundational, but then it's also educational.
I really like the blues. I just like how it sounds and the rhythm and stuff. It's fun to play, and I really like how it expresses how you feel and how you think.
Kids involved in musical programs graduate at a higher rate than kids who are not. Gives them a sense of belonging as well, social interaction. And so anytime that musical element is brought into a child's life, then it's going to give them the ability to play and create.
If you have a question, he'll give you like a whole history lesson about how it works. And I really like that. Like, he asked me, do I know certain blues artists? And I'm like, oh, no, I don't, I've never heard of them. And he whips out a CD.
It's not completely lost, because there are a lot of blues artists out there who are giving back, and they're just putting blues in school and giving kids instruments and helping kids, accept that inheritance or play that music, that specific style. So by teaching the music is really why I'm passing it on. What I'm doing is I'm gonna say, I'm gonna keep pushing on this, and hopefully I'll be able to leave something. So people will say, that's my inheritance, That's the music that my ancestors created.